We begin with a breaking news alert.
Good evening, I'm Victoria Sanchez. We're following several breaking stories tonight at 6. As we speak, Manassas police shut down a local park and are scouring the grounds for evidence in their search for missing mother Mamta Kafle Bhatt, who is presumed dead. Her husband is charged with concealing her body. And over in Arlington, a more than a week-long investigation ends with police arresting a man accused of making and using bombs. We'll have a live report in just moments. But first, back to Manassas Park. 7 News' Christian Flores just got to the scene. And Christian, what is it looking like?
Real estate mogul, media icon, 45th president of the United States, and now convicted felon. We're following breaking news tonight of an unprecedented verdict. A former president, for the first time, convicted on criminal charges. A jury finding Trump guilty of all 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in an attempt to cover up an affair with an adult film star. In 12 hours, Trump is set to hold a news conference in New York at Trump Tower. That's where earlier today we saw him waving and fist pumping to the crowd shortly after the verdict. Tonight, 7 News is on your side with live team coverage. New tonight, it is now confirmed. 7 tornadoes in less than 5 hours tore through Virginia, Maryland, and West Virginia. Just take a look at this map that we're going to show you here that indicates where all of them hit last night. Only 2 of those twisters were rated EF0. The rest packed a little more of a powerful punch, rating it EF1. And here's what we saw locally. The National Weather Service confirming 2 tornadoes, one in Leesburg and another in Montgomery County that stretched from Poolesville to Gaithersburg. For neighborhoods hit by these tornadoes, the hardship didn't end with that storm. One family says the damage prevented them from taking their daughter with special needs to school. On the left is their van. We showed you this last night, this huge tree on top of it. And on the right here, it's how it looked today, roughly 24 hours later. The hood and the windshield smashed, some of the windows blown out. 7 News' Christian Flores is live. Christian, you spoke with that family today. How hot is it in D.C. right now? Well, just ask this guy. That was a wax sculpture of President Abraham Lincoln until, well, he started melting. It's all outside Garrison Elementary School in Northwest. We're told he almost lost his head. That was removed and is being repaired. Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson standing by. VJ, any chance you got some good news for old Honest Abe?
I do.
Imagine walking out your front door and seeing this. Planet Earth off in the distance, moon rocks right underneath your feet. Well, scientists are on a mission now to make that happen. But first, they need to learn a little bit more about what's really up there. And that's why for nearly 4 years, NASA has held a Break the Ice Lunar Challenge. And it all comes down to one final competition tomorrow. The goal is to create robots that can dig into the moon's dusty and icy surface for resources like frozen water and then transport it to another location. But building such a crucial robot that can also survive the moon's bitter cold and dark areas. All right, Swifties, if you're watching, it's almost midnight. Of course, you know what that means because in about 30 minutes, superstar Taylor Swift will release her 11th studio album called Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah, there are 16 tracks and one of them already has a music video. Taylor posted on X today that the video for her first single from the new album, Fortnight, featuring Post Malone, will be released at 8 p.m. tomorrow. To celebrate the release, the Animal Welfare League of Arlington is holding a listening party.
Now, the bummer is the tickets are already sold out, but the league still has something else, well, we'll call it special. For those of us who didn't get a ticket, for $5, you can get your ex's name written on a kitty litter box.
Oh, isn't that just precious?
That is the contents of President Abraham Lincoln's pockets when he was assassinated. That's the lyric sheet and script for Do Re Mi and the Sound of Music, and this is the original Zonophone from the Universal Talking Machine Company, essentially a device like an old type of record player. These three treasures are more than 120 pulled from that collection from the vast Library of Congress archives that are now on display. 7 News chief photojournalist Adam Vance sent this video of a haunted house in Woodbridge. The 8-foot skeleton talks and laughs. There are also fake eyeballs and blood dripping in the windows. Whoa.
That's a hand?
Listen, I don't know what goes on. I'm just reading the teleprompter here.
That's scary.
I thought maybe you
Where
needed
is
a
the
hand to
rest
give the
of it?
forecast today. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
This is the kind of day we're having around here. It's Halloween. Oh, in the spirit of Halloween, we've got a little trick for you. At first glance, this may look like the beloved spooky TV family, the Munsters, but take a closer look there. Anyone look familiar to you?
No, actually.
Oh, that's your 7 News
That's a
at
beautiful
11
looking
team
family.
right there.
It's terrible.
Looking sharp.
We look good.
Grandpa,
Your words,
Margaret,
not mine.
Lily,
There's a lot to break down. here.
Herman, all of them. Great big happy family.
I haven't aged a day in 100 years.
That's true, yeah. Well, listen, it was super warm, great for all the decorations.
Oh, look at that.
But now it's time to put it all to bed. Lights out.
Good job, John.
And one more time to say goodbye. This
This guy.
Halloween is a wrap.
Earlier tonight, I asked you to decide what story do you want to hear to end your busy week and get the weekend started off right. I posted 2 choices on my X account, @ScottThuman. There was the dog rescued from deep Virginia's cave, or an 88-year-old former bodybuilder who's still pumping iron. With 61% of just over 60 votes tonight, here's what the majority of you chose.
Rappelled in, and the first member of our group found a dog that had fallen in 40 or 50 feet into the cave. And all of us had cave rescue.
All right, well, caught on camera, these Colorado adventurers rescuing a pup that was likely stranded for days inside a Virginia cave, dozens of feet down. The spelunkers were actually in the county there to teach people how to explore these natural voids safely. And well, they had to put their skills to the test.
I laid her down onto the ground, and the moment that she touched the ground, the tongue came out. You could tell it was a very clear excitement that she knew.
All right, well, they named the dog Sparcy for Small Party Assisted Rescue Canine. She had an injured eye and leg, but is recovering tonight at an animal shelter.
Forever grateful. The question is, which one of them is going to take her home?
Check this out.
You just never know what you're going to come across while working in a mobile news office. And 7 News' Brad Bell sure wasn't expecting this one today while out on a story today. Look at this baby deer.
That's cute.
Started checking out the car, and then you can see in the side mirror here how close the fawn gets. Takes a little sniff around and then crawls, look at this, right underneath the van.
It was pretty hot. I don't blame the deer
Yeah,
for
looking
that.
for some shade.
Yeah.
And I've had some animals encounter over the years, but this one, talk about someone that just comes up on you. I was hiking in Utah. This is Zion National Park.
Wow,
Beautiful,
look
right?
at that
Top
view.
of Angel's Landing. This chipmunk goes, "Hey, Apple, I need some of that right now." Just sitting there.
It's too cute. You can't
can't
get
deny
mad,
him.
even though
No.
it's stealing your food, clearly. This
He
thief.
can do it all day long. That was a good one.
Absolutely.
You have some good animal encounters?
Oh, yeah, I did a lot of these sorts of stories over in Florida. This is my encounter with Snooty the manatee. This was the world's oldest manatee in captivity, and he was a camera hog. He just knew how to light up and shine in front of a camera. He was a great guy.
All right, getting ready for now what could be the hottest temperatures of the year. VJ, here
That's
to
right.
talk it all out.
A little bit of a teaser. We'll be ready to
Okay.
jump in the pool, of course,
I'm
on
there.
Friday, right?
Look at that.
Take a dip.
Where else can you see Luigi, Storm from X-Men, and a Ghostbuster in person at the same time? Well, we have just one word for you, BlurredCon. It's a celebration of Black nerd culture taking place right now in Arlington at the Hyatt Regency Crystal City. And 7 News photojournalist Andrew Inches takes us inside. We've all heard the myth of George Washington chopping down a cherry tree. Did he really do it? The jury's still out on that one. But what we do know for a fact, because there's a whole lot of evidence now, is that America's first president sure did love to can cherries. Back in April, we told you about how archaeologists at Mount Vernon discovered 2 jars full of the fruit. And well, now we're learning they've just unearthed over 30 more, and almost all of them are intact with perfectly preserved cherries, gooseberries, and currants. Mount Vernon says they've removed the contents of each bottle to refrigerate them for scientific analysis. Meanwhile, the bottles are slowly drying. They'll be conserved. So I'm joined by my good friend VJ here with a question. 200-year-old or so snack. I bring it to you, give you a spoonful. You trying that?
I'm not going to hesitate.
The Washington Wizards with the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Although first, here at 7 News, we have our own couple of sports stars, Scott Abraham and Natalie Spalla. And just before the draft, they showed off their own skills going head-to-head.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's see. 1. Okay, now we go to the tiebreaker. Let's go. We got to step it back here. All right, for the win. Oh, no, it went in.
It didn't go in. It bounced out.
All right, go ahead.
For the winner here.
Let's see. Oh, we both missed.
No.
Anyway,
All right, well, the judges are still deciding if Scott's shot counted. I asked you at home to decide on my X account at Scott Thuman. Yes, Scott wins, or nope, it bounced out. So it's a tie. Is it? Right now, 60% of voters say it counts. All right, Natalie's joining us live from Capital One Arena. Despite the poll results, Natalie, by the way, you're making up ground. 60%. You've still got action there. You got to be all smiles with all the excitement around the Wizards tonight.
Well, Scott, a few things. When you use the word skills, I would use that term very loosely because that was just atrocious in my opinion. 2, I was there. I will tell you the shot did not count.
All right, Natalie, still to come here. Take a look at this light pole in the middle of this field. Now watch it just disappear. What happened? We'll show you coming up next. Plus, Google has a new doodle. The local team behind the artwork and the beloved family tradition that she is sharing with the world. Earlier tonight, we told you about Google's new doodle and the DC team behind it. Well, now we're getting our first look at her inspiration. This is one of Maisie Derlega's treasured family Sunday night dinners, and she said it's a safe space filled with chaos and laughter, food, and the people she loves most. Maisie featured the tradition in her submission to Google's Doodle contest, and she beat thousands of participants to get first place. The win comes with a college scholarship and funding for her high school, Jackson Reed. And shine bright she did, but was it enough for the DC native to take her spot in American Idol's top 10? How fans voted. Breaking news tonight, former President Donald Trump making his first public appearance just days after surviving an attempted assassination. He was seen with a large bandage on his ear that was struck by a bullet. Trump attended the first night of the Republican National Convention and greeted his newly picked running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. The convention getting off to a big start. Trump was formally nominated for the GOP ticket just minutes after announcing Vance as his vice presidential nominee. The 39-year-old Marine and Yale Law School grad would be one of the youngest vice presidents in American history if elected. Tonight, national correspondent Atra El-Nashar joins us now live from the RNC in Milwaukee. And Atra, a lot of developments out there.
The devastation was beyond belief. And even when you prepare for something like this is something that's never happened before in Western North Carolina.
North Carolina's governor addressing the increasingly dire situation in the western region of his state. Towns just decimated by Tropical Storm Helene, leaving thousands of people without homes, food, water, or fuel. This is new video tonight showing just a fraction of the destruction in Asheville. And this is how that area looked right after the storm hit. Water reaching the tops of some buildings and submerging others. New tonight and only on 7 News. I spoke with Maddie Wolfenberger, the sister of our 11 p.m. producer here, who lives in Asheville and has been trapped for several days. She tells me they still don't have power, and a big concern right now is running out of necessities.
It has been very difficult to get fuel and a little bit dangerous. There's been arguments breaking out and gun violence as well. Water is also a huge issue. You know, you don't realize how much you use water until you don't have enough of it.
Now, help from all over the country, including the DMV, is responding to this crisis. And new video shows Maryland National Guard soldiers evacuating stranded residents around Asheville. Maddie tells me it seemed to her that almost no one that she saw was really prepared for just how powerful Helene was.
We just didn't realize the magnitude of this. I mean, I was in Walmart the night before, and usually with big storms, you see people racing, grabbing as much water as possible. That wasn't it. Nobody knew what was coming. Nobody thought to evacuate. Nobody thought to try to board up their house.
Now, as we speak, hundreds of people in the Southeast are still missing, and the death toll, now over 100, keeps rising. As the urgent search efforts continue, it is still unknown just how bad the damage really is. President Biden is expected to fly over Asheville Wednesday, but surveys could take months. Maddie says she tried to evacuate, but the town was completely closed off.
I mean, it was bridges out. You couldn't cross bridges. There were just homes gone. There was a building in the middle of the road. The railroad track no longer had dirt underneath it. It was just complete madness.
Okay, so I'm here now with our chief meteorologist, Veronica Johnson. VJ, you went to college in Asheville. You still have friends in that area. Some you haven't heard from since Helene hit.
Yeah, then I was getting very, very worried. I finally got word from 2 of her sons. They tell me that she's doing just fine.
Looking at incredible new video tonight showing the moment NYPD officers wearing helmets and carrying riot shields first made entry into Columbia University's Hamilton Hall through a second-floor window.
That's the administration building on campus where protesters have been holed up for more than 12 hours. A huge crowd screaming and chanting from the street below as officers one by one climbed inside. Listen to what they were saying.
We watched some very tense moments on that campus tonight as dozens of protesters were arrested. Our John Rogers is at the with a live look from Columbia University. John, what's happening there right now?
We literally just got word moments ago about 30 to 40 people have been removed from Hamilton Hall. This was the building that a number of demonstrators had entered in roughly 12 hours ago.
7 News is also closely watching a highly anticipated and long-awaited arrival. These 3 American citizens and 1 permanent resident who the U.S. government says had been wrongfully detained in Russia. They'll soon step back onto U.S. soil. This is a live look now from Joint Base Andrews, where their plane is expected to land any minute now. Their families, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, will be on the tarmac waiting to greet them. And tonight, we're getting a look inside their journey home. The former Marine journalist, dual national, and Russian opposition leader were freed as part of a historic prisoner swap involving multiple countries. Before he went to breaking news, 7 News' Christian Flores spoke with a foundation that advocates on behalf of unjustly held prisoners. The American citizens and 1 permanent resident who the U.S. government says had been wrongfully detained in Russia, in many cases for years, are mere minutes away from landing back on U.S. soil. You can see the arrival there of President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris to greet them as they land at Joint Base Andrews. With just 2 days until July 4th, we thought, what a better way to celebrate than to look back on our nation's history. We're not talking about what you've read in books or seen in movies, but rather The moments that time forgot. Moments like this. A photo taken back on July 4th, 1928 in Sparrows Point, Maryland. In the front, a few men dressed as clowns, and behind them, children riding on a decorated float. And if you think those kiddos are cute, check this one out. This little girl got to hold Uncle Sam's cane at an Independence Day celebration in D.C. This photo dated 1977 and was featured in the publication Torch, which said the Smithsonian went on a search for the perfect Uncle Sam until they found this guy, John Rusk of Oxon Hill. And one more for you tonight. This is Baltimore's North Curly Street celebration for the 4th of July, a tradition for this neighborhood, and this was taken in 1978. We hope you have as great of a time celebrating as these ladies are. We have started, producer Abby and Eli, assignment desk Jamie, John, who's not here tonight, the Friday Night Shake Club, we call it. So every Friday night we're getting shakes. There we go.
I love it.
In between shows, helps you just chill out a little bit, right?
All the young folk who can still deal with the ice cream.
You've got your own method?
Yeah, I'll take a snowball if you guys go to a snowball stand. That's my jam. The other thing, I love these. Somebody should be giving these away. You want to try it out? Here, because I know what it feels like.
Oh.
Put it on just like that, and you're nice and cool. It's your own portable AC. I'll be on the tarmac at Martin State Airport.
Okay.
Shooting a great science story on air quality that NOAA's working on, but on a tarmac.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah, I'm going to need that.
Put this to use. Hey, you know who else could use this?
Right over there.
Natalie Spalla.
Yeah, guys. Hey, well, I have one thing to say. I was going to say one thing that is in my Amazon cart right now. I just need to pull through and just buy them. Second, I'm still waiting for an invite for the Shake Club. We're a little farther away in the sports office, but that's okay. I'll just hold out on that.
Natalie, normally I wouldn't barge into your sportscast.
Of course not.
But I've got to take you back to last week when you got on our case pretty hard about not getting an invite to our Friday Night Shake Club that we have in the newsroom. Just in case you forgot, here's a little clip.
I'm still waiting for an invite for the Shake Club. We're a little farther away in the sports office, but that's okay. I'll just hold out on that.
Okay, well, Natalie, this week, here's the proof. You finally got that long-awaited invite. Happy to have you join the club. Thanks for showing up. And by the way, you want to talk about your selection there?
I was going to say, it was toasted marshmallow, and it was a hard choice. You had to walk me through the menu earlier today, Scott, because there was a lot of choices.
Well, we're now less than 1 hour away from the end of one of the biggest eras in game show history. TV legend Pat Sajak is officially retiring after 41 historic seasons. Tonight, he'll give one last spin of the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune alongside his longtime co-host Vanna White. The show is a staple in American pop culture. The 77-year-old's run spanned more than 8,000 episodes, impacting countless viewers.
I've always felt that the privilege came with a responsibility to keep this daily half hour a safe place for family fun. No social issues, no politics, nothing embarrassing, I hope, just a game. But gradually it became more than that. A place where kids learn their letters, where people from other countries hone their English skills, where families came together along with friends and neighbors and entire generations. What an honor to have played even a small part in all that. Thank you for allowing me into your lives.
As for what's next, Ryan Seacrest will take over Wheel of Fortune and Sajak will move on to acting. That's right, he's going to be performing in a play at a theater in Honolulu, Hawaii next summer. By the way, here's just a small part of the reaction that we're seeing on social media tonight. Our own Jamie Scott with our 7 News assignment desk. He shared this photo of a younger him with Sajak and Vanna White up on the left corner of your screen there. Many fans taking time to write about memories they've had watching the show with their loved ones. And you can, of course, watch Sajak's last spin right here on Channel 7 at 7 o'clock. They are the only known venomous primates. And not too long ago, we showed you these little pygmy slow lorises. Tiny, right? Well, now look at them. The National Zoo shared this video today of the 2-month-old now, lorises chowing down on some grub. And in case you're wondering, those are wax worms. And you have to see this moment. The two youngins in front there eyeing the worm, figuring out the best form of attack. And that's when Dad swoops in, snatches that snack for himself. It's almost Father's Day, though, so we'll cut him a little slack, right?
With 34 hamburgers eaten,
Who knew? 35.
they're a great couple, and they're right behind me. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-champions, Dan Kennedy and Molly Schuyler.
So what did you have for lunch? I bet it wasn't 34 hamburgers. DC Z-Burger held its 15th annual Independence Burger Eating Championship today. 12 people from the U.S. and Canada given just 10 minutes to down as much as possible. Well, it's tradition to actually bite your medal when you win. You certainly can't eat it unless, of course, it's made of cheese. Now, this is a sport you won't see in Paris this year, but it's an extreme event that draws out contestants from all over the world. It's called cheese rolling, and it's exactly like it sounds. Reckless racers travel to this near vertical hill in Britain to then chase after wheels of cheese. And one North Carolina woman is now a two-time champ. And here's some proof that law enforcement officers don't just bust bad guys. They can also bust a move. 7 News caught U.S. Marshals taking a dance break at the Night Out event in Southeast. This move, well, that's the wobble. Protecting and serving in style tonight. All right, pretty big day here at 7 News because we are celebrating someone very special to us.
Yeah, we got the groovy music to prove it. VJ, we may be putting you on a spot right here, but we want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. We have the disco ball. I want some lights.